My obsession with this book continues, and with good reason. This book has been such a joy and such a wonderful book to have in my crochet collection because I am able to create these panels. And these panels create such fun and lovely textures, allows me to play with different stitches. I love being able to incorporate some basic stitches with some fun stitches and to play with colors like I never have before. It is such a lovely, wonderful way to get into your stash and stash down on your yarn. Now I know the new year is coming, and maybe that is a goal of yours in the next coming year, to stash down and use what you have and be resourceful, especially in these times of inflation. It has been really difficult and prices tend to go up, but I am just incredibly enthused about this book. Now, you can just see all the vibrant colors that she has chosen for her panel. Here are just some examples of how you can mix and match. Well, I have a finished panel to share with you today. This one is going to be a part of my donation to the Boggy Creek camp, and I think that's just a wonderful cause. So let me show you my blanket. It's all done. Ta-da! Here is my Boggy Creek blanket. We have this lovely panel here, this lovely textured bobble stitch, and then I went with a very basic double crochet panel, and then a top stitch over here, and then a little bit of mosaic, and then back to a bobble. And so here we have this lovely panel. Now, because this is going to the Boggy Creek camp, I did not go with a very fancy border, but I did tie it off with just a basic single crochet around the entire blanket. So here's this first panel, very beautiful. I love that we get to use the different stitches. It just creates such a lovely blanket, and the ability to play with color and textures is just wonderful. Now these are very fall-like colors. I wanted this blanket to be for a boy or an adult or an older child. So I had a person in mind when I made this. And so these colors I thought would be good for an older child that attends. Now, if you have this book, keep in mind that your ending panels should probably be your most heaviest panel. So this one is not as heavy as the mosaic stitch. So I feel like I should have used this on the end, because when you fold it, you know, these are much thinner, and I feel like it would have been better suited to have something that wasn't so flimsy on the end points. So I'm going to keep that in mind for next time. So that is my first blanket. I hope you enjoyed that. And that really helped me work down my yarn stash of Simply Soft. And I'm continuing with my Simply Soft yarn. I have quite the mix of yarns. And here is this first one. So this one is a wave, a beautiful wave, and it's in this vibrant green. And with these blankets and Caron Simply Soft, I am using a 5.5 clover hook. And I just love this color. Now I ran out of this color, so I'm gonna have to get another one to finish it. But I just love these waves and this texture. And it's gonna go next to this one. Now these were some granny squares that I had made, and I was going to turn it into a blanket, but I didn't have all the same color. So these were some stragglers And I figured, you know what, this would be a nice border at the end of my blanket. As I was saying, I'm going to have a nice good one. Now this one isn't in the book, but here I am able to put these squares together as part of this panel, and they look great together. The next color I'm going to work on, I'm going to incorporate this white and black, and while I was sitting in the doctor's office, I had immediately started. But I didn't have much of a wait, so this is as far as I got, and then I was called. But this is a book that you can take anywhere. Keep it in your car, keep it in a bag, keep your hook in there and a pair of scissors, and you are good to go. You just create the next panel, and that makes for a very easy project on the go as well. They're not very big projects because you're creating just a small panel that will turn into a large blanket when you combine them together. And it also makes for such easy combining, right? Because you're not crocheting. I know some people who like, if they make a bunch of little squares, you have all those ends. Well, I really like the idea that these are long strips so that you're just making one single seam to attach all these panels, which will make such an easy construction of this blanket. Now, the designer of this book is Esme Crick, and you should go follow her on Instagram, and you will see a wide variety of these colors. She is also the designer behind this book, but this one I love so much more because of its flexibility and easy to construct. Just a fantastic book. You should have this one in your collection. If you like making blankets, this is an awesome one to go to. So yeah, I am just completely obsessed with this book, and I just fancy it so much. I enjoy making all these different panels and then playing with all the different stitches, but not being stuck to create a huge blanket in bobble stitches or mosaic crochet. So you're getting that instant gratification with each panel, and it's just so much fun to watch it come together. This has really been my comfort book. So when I need to relax, I just grab this book. I grab a skein of yarn that, hey, I only have one of these. Let's see what I can do with it. And based on how much yarn you have, you can make your panels thinner or thicker, depending on your creativity. But yeah, I love just grabbing this book, sitting in my chair, grabbing some yarn, and then sometimes when my hubs wants to watch a movie, I just take this book because I know it's a repetitive stitch. I can get lost in watching something while we listen to it, of course. But these stitches are so easy, yet so creative. And then combining them together just makes for an excellent artistic blanket. Let your creativity flow. One of my favorites was this bobble stitch, and this color is just absolutely gorgeous. I love this one. And then I really fell in love with this one and that instant gratification. And this is something that I've never done in a blanket, but what a way to combine colors that you have somewhere else that maybe wouldn't go with this, but it really ties it in. So yeah, I'm really loving this blanket and this way of creating blankets. I hope you've enjoyed this, and let me know if you have this in your collection. I know someone I recently watched said she took it on a cruise, and she just brought all her yarn, because you only need one hook, my friends, because when you're constructing these blankets and you're using the same yarn, you can create as many panels as you like. All right, I shall talk to you again soon. Oh, there is another detail. So if you get this book, just keep in mind that You want your panels to go from lengthwise. So you want your panels to be rows, like on a lined paper. You don't want your panels to go the lengthwise, because that doesn't make for very many strips or panels to do. So it's much nicer to see short pieces lined up, and I believe that's how she did all of them. So she's making them to be width going across. All right, so I shall see you again soon. Let me know how you like this book if you get it. Bye.